learner-centered classroom is an educational setting where the focus of learning is shifted from the teacher to the students. It includes various forms such as experiential learning activities, where students learn by doing, engaging in hands-on projects and experiments. Inquiry-based learning experience is another form where students are encouraged to conduct their own research on various topics and present their findings, fostering a sense of curiosity and exploration. Problem-based learning is a form where students are given real-world problems to solve, promoting critical thinking and collaboration.
What forms or structures can a public school implement in order for a learner-centered classroom to be observed? To create a learner-centered classroom in a public school, teachers can implement forms and structures such as personalized learning. To meet the different learning styles and interests of the students, this could be through different activities, projects, and using technology. Remember, the goal is to make the classroom a place where students feel engaged and active in their learning. It's about making them the center of the learning process. How can these forms be implemented in an effective learner-centered classroom? So to create an effective learner-centered classroom in public schools, teachers can implement approaches such as individualized learning plans to create personalized plans for each student to meet their specific needs and interests. By implementing these approaches, public schools can create a classroom environment where students are actively involved in their learning, collaborative with peers, and have opportunities to explore their interests and goals.
What forms or structures can a private school implement in order for a learner-centered classroom to be observed? To create a learner-centered classroom in a private school, teachers can implement forms and structures such as the first one is flexible seat. Let students choose where they sit for comfort and focus. So projects, not just lessons. So teach through hands-on projects that let students explore and solve real problems. Next is student-led activities. So encourage students to lead discussions and group work. Next is the personal learning plans. Create plans tailored to each student's needs and interests. Tech tools. Use technology to make learning interactive and fun. Choices in learning. Give students options for how they learn and show what they know. Class discussion. Have open discussion where everyone's ideas are valued. Work together, learn together. Let students work in group and give feedback to each other. Reflect and set goals. Help students think about what they've learned and what they want to achieve. And lastly is real-world learning. Take students on trips and connect them with people in the community to learn outside the classroom. How can these forms be implemented in an effective learning-centered classroom? So implementing these forms effectively in a learner-centered classroom in a private school involves several key steps. First is teaching training. So train teachers in learner-centered methods like project-based learning and personalized assessment. Curriculum design. Create a curriculum that connects to students' interests and real-world skills. The classroom setup. Arrange the classroom for collaboration and creativity with flexible setting and plenty of resources.
Okay, today we are excited to share with you the forms, structures, routines, and the rules of the discipline. So the first question is, what forms or structure can a teacher implement in order for the learner-centered classroom be observed? And the second one is, how can this form promote an effective learner-centered? So now I will provide two forms or structures and the student-centered. So the first one is student-centered discussion. Of course, as a teacher, we need to allow our students to lead discussion and express their opinions and perspectives. And by allowing students sharing their ideas, they can recognize the strengths and weaknesses, and of course, they can value their experiences and knowledge. Okay, the second one is flexible learning environment. Of course, giving a lot of resources and technologies to engage students learning at their own will is significant of by teaching them to use technologies. Like for example, as a teachers, we give our students create an infographic or making a PPTs or using YouTube and Google's to give for them to be knowledgeable. So these structures of forms empower students to become an active in school. They can be more confident by using all of this. They can have a deeper understanding and meaningful learning experiences. Of course, always keep in mind that as a teacher, we need to find the forms, structures to embrace education for the brighter future of all students.
In a learner-centered classroom, roles, routines, and responsibilities are structured to prioritize the needs and interests of the students. So, here's a breakdown. For the roles, teacher plays as facilitator rather than a lecturer. So the teacher guides students, offers supports, and creates a conducive learning environment, while the students are the active participants in their learning. They engage, ask questions, collaborate with peers, and take responsibility for their learning. For the routines, we have class discussions. It encourages open dialogue where students can share ideas, ask questions, and debate about the topics. We also have group work. It fosters collaboration and peer learning through group projects, discussions, and problem-solving activities. We also have the self-paced learning. It allows students to progress at their own speed, offering resources and support as needed. Last one is the reflection. It incorporates the time for students to reflect on their learning and set goals and evaluate their progress. Responsibilities. So teacher provide clear learning objectives, create engaging lessons, offer support and feedback, and adapt teaching methods to meet the diverse learning needs of the students. And the students actively participate in class, complete assignments, seek help when needed, and take ownership of their learning process. So for the responsibilities, both teacher and students maintain a respectful and inclusive classroom environment where everyone feels valued and supported. In essence, a learner-centered classroom shifts the focus from the teacher to the students, emphasizing active learning, collaboration, and personal responsibility.
The teacher's role is to encourage, nurture, and challenge while students lead their own learning. This means that the teachers spend class time working closely with students, providing each learner with the support they need. The students' role is to attending classes on time regularly, being prepared for classes with all necessary supplies, taking good care of school property, completing all homework assignments. From a transactional perspective, teachers, students, and significant others may perform as part of each role function. The primary role functions are providing content expertise, providing learning management, providing evaluative feedback, and providing socialization and providing personal models. In a classroom, the teacher is the facilitator. As a facilitator, your role is to provide instructions, guidance, and support to your students. Teachers are the ones that design lessons, assess student progress, and create a positive learning environment. On the other hand, the role of students is to become an active participants in the learning process. Their roles include engaging in discussions, asking questions, completing assignments, and collaborating with peers. Students are also responsible for their own learning and apply the knowledge and skills they acquire.
So implementing routines in a classroom is a very important one for creating a healthy environment for students. Routines provide a sense of predictability and structure, which helps students feel secure and comfortable in the learning environment. When students know what to expect, they are more likely to engage actively in lessons. It helps manage time effectively by allocating specific periods for different activities such as instruction and reflection. So this ensures that instructional time is maximized, leading to more efficient learning outcomes. Routines also help establish clear expectations for behavior, participation, and academic performance. Consistent routines reinforce positive behaviors and help mitigate disruptions, creating a healthy environment for learning. So by allowing established routines, students learn to take ownership of their learning process and develop independency. So they become familiar with the steps involved in the various classroom activities, as they will also know when to start and when to end in every day. So students know what is expected of them and can focus their energy on learning rather than worrying about what comes next.
In conclusion, it is important to have a routines and rules in a classroom because rules they ensure the physical and emotional safety of students and protect their educational experience from disruptions or offenses. Guidelines for behavior should not feel restricting, they should feel enriching. It is also important to have a routines because it allows students to quickly accomplish day-to-day tasks that our teachers require and the students. Routines also help to create smoother transitions between activities and therefore allow fewer opportunities for disruptions to occur.
Classroom management defines to the efforts that an instructor takes to create and maintain a learning environment that promotes effective instruction. These acts include decision about structure, organization, and course activities that help students manage their expectation and behaviors. To promote effective classroom management and a positive learning environment, teachers should foster an environment that supports academic, social, and emotional learning. Provide a structured and organized learning environment and foster trust and healthy relationship between instructors and students, as well as peer-to-peer learning. There are some aspects of a learner-centered classroom that both teachers and students must practice. This includes the responsibilities of a teacher and the students. Effective classroom management is a shared responsibilities for teachers and students. In a learner-centered classroom, the teachers acts as a facilitator, providing direction to the learners, as well as providing a safe environment for their students. It is their responsibility to nurture and counsel students and assess them understand their intellectual, emotional, and social needs. This helps them reach their learning goals or outcome as a students. Meanwhile, in a learner-centered classroom, students actively participate rather than passively listening. Whether students are watching videos on their own or working with classmates to master a new skill, they are continually encouraged and supported.
So for the last subtopic under organization and management in a learner-centered classroom, we have the roles of discipline in a learner-centered classroom. So discipline, it refers to the training that makes people more willing to obey or more able to control themselves. And when we say discipline in education, it refers to the practice of maintaining order and control in the classroom. It involves the practices and rules and regulation inside the classroom. So there are two types of discipline in the classroom. We have the positive and negative. A negative discipline, it focuses on the punishment rather than correcting the misbehavior of the student. It can be physical or emotional punishment.
As we grow up, aside from our parents, teachers become focal in disciplining us in school in order for us to have good values within ourselves. As teachers, your discipline could take the form of communication, hearing and understanding your students' point of view. When open communication is fostered, the teacher will know the reason behind the student's actions. With serene conversation involved, students become aware of their mistakes and learn how to fix them. This is the focus of positive discipline in learning environment, the rights of students and pedagogical principles. In summary, when teachers discipline their students without shouting or yelling, they promote warm environments for them where their learning, achievements, and academic progress can be greatly enhanced. A positive teacher-student relationship is evident in the classroom, resulting in students being comfortable and having an eagerness and desire to learn more in all circumstances.
What discipline should be? Discipline in the classroom should prioritize correcting and educating students while promoting responsibility and maintaining the dignity of both learners and educators. It is essential to create an environment where students feel respected and valued while also understanding the consequences of their actions.
Discipline should not be about punishment or humiliations, but rather about teaching students the importance of making positive choices and taking responsibility for their behavior. When educators focus on correction and education, they can help students understand why certain actions are inappropriate and guide them towards more appropriate alternatives. By promoting responsibility, educators empower students to take ownership of their actions and learn from their mistakes. It is important to address disciplinary issues privately and respectfully, avoiding public humiliations or embarrassment. Overall, discipline in the classroom should be centered around correcting and educating students, promoting responsibility, and upholding the dignity of all individuals involved. This approach fosters a positive and conductive learning environment where students can thrive academically and personally.
As we know, discipline will always start inside the family. The parents, of course, so it will always impact on how parents discipline their child. It will always impact to the child's life environment. Now, let's talk about discipline inside the classroom. So, having positive discipline inside the classroom can impact to the student's character development. Now, let's talk about having fair discipline inside the classroom. So, having fair discipline inside the classroom, it can cause positive environment where students can feel love and respect.
However, discipline is an important aspect of maintaining order and promoting learning in the classroom. It can sometimes have negative impact if not implemented effectively. One potential negative impact is the potential for disciplinary measures to create a hostile or punitive environment. When discipline is overly harsh or unfair, it can lead to feelings of resentment and disengagement among students. Additionally, excessive discipline without proper guidance or explanation can leave students feeling confused, frustrated, and demoralized, which can hinder their overall learning experience. To mitigate this negative impact, it is crucial for educators to approach discipline with fairness, empathy, and a focus on education and growth. By fostering a positive and supportive classroom environment, where discipline is viewed as a means of learning and personal development rather than punishment, educators can create a space where students feel valued and motivated to engage in their learning journey.
Discipline in a learning classroom is very important. Discipline in a classroom helps create an environment where learning can happen effectively. It's not about fun or creativity. It's about creating a space where everyone can thrive and grow together. When everyone respects the rules, it shows consideration and care for each other's learning experience. It's about respect for ourselves, our peers, and our teacher. Creating a space where everyone feels valued and supported in their educational journey. And I thank you.